Hi, welcome back to Couch to 5K Beginner Intermediate Training. One thing I really want to point out before we get started today, this came up earlier in one of my conversations. Make sure you all are really paying attention to your body, how you're feeling throughout your week. If Wednesday comes around, Thursday comes around, and you are fatigued, you are tired, you can barely get through the workouts, you just don't have the energy, that is your body's way of telling you need to rest, all right? Don't force the workouts on yourself. It's okay to take breaks and then pick it back up the next day or maybe 2 days later, all right? We want to give our body optimal time to recover. If there's no rest time in our regimen, you're just only hurting yourself. You can only get so much better and you're going to hit a plateau and you won't be able to get over that hump. So in order to continue to progress, rest is absolutely important, all right? And if you're having a hard time figuring out, well, what days should I train versus what days should I take off, feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to work that out with you and see what fits your schedule best, all right? So with that being said, let's get into our day 2 strength training, all right? Make sure you have enough space around you. We're gonna go ahead and get started with our warm-ups. Toes are forward, about hip width apart. We're going to do our around the world stretch. We're going to stretch those arms out to the wall, to the ceiling, wall to the floor, and start to bend your knees here as we start to loosen up. Getting a nice stretch through the legs and through that torso, the spine. Good. One more time, all the way around. And then we reverse it. Take it around, loosening up that body. I know some of us are just coming out of our work day, so we want to ease our way into this workout, right? Good. One more time. Take it all the way around. Good. Arms come down to the side. From here, we're going to go into a little knee hug. Let's start with a small march first. This is nice and slow. Lifting those knees. We're trying to lengthen out that lower back. And when you're ready, you can add that knee hug by grabbing the leg, nice pull up, bring it back down. Take your time here. If you need a little assistance, don't hesitate to use something for more stability. All right, we're all starting in a different place. So just pay attention to where your body is. That's the most important thing, all right? Good. One more time each side. From here, we're going to go into a bent T. So my knees are slightly bent. Go ahead and find that bony part of your hip bone here. And I want you to hinge forward like you're going to get a drink of water from a water fountain. Arms are relaxed down. From here, we shrug the shoulders back. Lift those thumbs up to the sky. We're going to make a T with the arms. Good. Lower it back down and release. We lift and reach. Good. So this is helping to open up those shoulders here. Nice. One more time. Lift and reach. Bring it on down. Relax those shoulders and let's lift it back up. Okay, one more warm-up exercise to wake up that brain a little bit, get those neurons firing, ready to go. We're going to do our high knee to ankle tap combination. Nice and slow to start. Okay. Good. Little combination here. The body likes when we mix things up. It starts to really focus on what you're doing. And when you're ready, we're going to speed this up 10 seconds. Here we go. You can stick with the march or you can add a little hop. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Awesome. We're ready to go, everyone. So round number 1, we have 2 exercises. We're going to all come down to the floor and we're going to work on some push-ups, okay? Make your way down here. And as always, I'm going to give us progressions and regressions, okay? So to start, our option 1, you can start on your knees, okay? And we want to think about keeping our weight over the wrists. And we talked about webbed feet like last time. We're going to think about webbed hands. And we want to think about pushing our hands into the ground. And you want to feel that ground pushing back at you. And we want to keep a nice long spine. From here, we're going to slowly lower ourselves all the way down to the floor. So literally belly is touching the ground now, no more weight on the arms. Good. You can choose to either push yourself back up, or you can take your time walking yourself back up into that push-up position. These are negative push-ups. So again, we resist that weight on the way down, resist, resist, resist. And then the easy part, you can just sit yourself right back up. Of course, if we want to take this up a notch, you're on your toes here, and we resist that negative push-up, resist that weight, bring it down. Okay, let's repeat this for a few more times. Lower, 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 keeping those elbows close to the body. Pressing up. Good, keep going. I want you to focus on really drawing that belly button in. And we're trying to work through the chest and those triceps. So make sure your whole body from hips to shoulders are all moving down together. Beautiful. Let's go, two more from everyone. You've got this, take your time. One more. Woo. And when you're ready, go ahead and walk yourself back up. That's exercise number one. Good work, everyone. Coming onto your feet now, we're going to go into a lunge. All right. So the full out lunge here, I'm going to step forward and I'm going to step back. So check your spacing, make sure you have enough room to take one step forward. And then we go down into that bent knee position. And then I'm going to push back up to the top. Okay. Then I'm going to alternate. I'm going to go to the other foot, step forward, bending through the knees. And then I press back up. Okay. So that's the full lunge. If you want, if we're still working on some balance, you're going to start in this split squat position. You might recognize this from Monday, and we're going to practice that up and down instead. Okay, so we can start here, or if you're ready, we're going to add that movement back and forth. So let's go for 8 reps on each side for everyone. Here we go, stepping forward. You can choose to count these out for yourself, or you can stick with my tempo. I'm going to go for 8. So if you stick with my pace, we'll be in the same spot. Good. As we're stepping forward, we're really planting that front foot, right? We want to keep those knees aligned with the toes or behind the toes. Good. Four more at each side for me. Good, keep working. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent job. All right, those are our first 2 exercises. How are we doing so far? You still with me? Okay, at any point that you need water, feel free to pause, grab a sip, then jump right back in with us. We're going to come back down to the floor, working on those negative push-ups. Go ahead and get your hands positioned. Just to give you another angle here. I want to make sure my weight is over those wrists. So think of your arms as like a pillar holding up a building and a ceiling, right? I want that shoulder directly over the wrist. If I'm at an angle, that's going to make my push-ups really hard, right? Or if I'm trying to shift my weight over the wrist, I can also not bend my knee elbows as much. So make sure we have that nice straight arm. Let's go when you're ready. Lower it down, nice and slow. We're resisting the weight. So this is a great exercise for all of us, no matter what your starting fitness level is. Either you're going to be able to slow this down a ton, or maybe it's like a 2-second drop, and that's okay. The goal is over these next few weeks, we want to slow that down because we're going to be building strength. So really take your time. I want 4 more from everyone. Good. I got 2 more. Keep working here. Let's stay committed. We showed up today, so let's make it count. Awesome. Finish that last one you're on. Take your time coming back up. We're going back into those lunges once again. And if you want to add resistance, those of you who want to add a little bit more, you can feel free to grab your weight, whatever you're using. Start with those feet close together. When you're ready, 8 reps each side. Here we go. We step. Big push back. Remember, your alternative is to start in that split squat, and we go down and up. All this is a different starting place to help progress you to that next level. Good. In case you forgot, breathe. Remember, sometimes when we get focused, we start holding that breath. We're doing 8 each side. Good, stand tall. We want to squeeze those glutes as we come back up. Whew. All right, finish where you're at. Get those 8 reps in. We got one more set, everyone. Back to those push-ups. Those arms are going to be feeling this big later on, right? Go ahead and get into position. Challenge yourself here. See how much you can slow that push-up down. When you're ready, let's go for 8. Everyone at their own tempo here. Good, resist, resist, resist. Make sure everything moves together. So if you were balancing a cup of water on your back, would it be able to stay put? Or are you starting to arch through the back, making some funky positions with the body? You got it. 2 more for me. Whew. All right. When you finish up, bring it back to the top. We've got lunges one more time or your split squat. Let's go right into it when you're ready. 8 each side. We are warmed up now. We know what we're doing. Let's work for it. Remember, go at your own pace. I know we got a lot of friends on here today, but you have time, all right? Got plenty of time to get through these. I've got one more here. Good. When you're finished, grab some water. And we're going to move on to the next round. How's everyone doing so far? You can shout it out in the chat. You can send out emojis. Awesome. Great. Lots of thumbs up. Love the feedback. Awesome. Okay. Get that water in. Let's go for the next round here. We're going to do some core work. So let's come back down to the floor. We're going to work on our side planks. We started working on these on Monday, but now we're going to do a static hold here. So just like before, when we're doing our push-ups, we need that elbow to be right underneath the shoulder. Hips are stacked. We're going to think of that belly button as a headlight. So we don't want the headlight to flash up towards the ceiling or down to the floor. We want it to flash straight ahead, right? So our first option is to keep the knees bent. We drive up. I want you to try to hold as long as you can here. If we're still progressing, if you're able to hold for the full 20, let's go 20. Other option, we're gonna extend both legs out and we lift. All right, let's bring it up all together in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go, lift. What you do with your arms, we can hold it on the hip, we can reach it out. If we're working on that stability here, we can bring that hand down. Maybe if we're on our knees, it's okay to reach that hand forward for a little extra support. Really drive those hips up though. We're trying to work those side obliques here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Whew. Swing it around. Let's try that on the other side. Again, hips are stacked. Headlight is flashing forward. We're lifting up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and up. Good. Again, you can choose what to do with your arms. Breathe, 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 breathe. Nothing else. Good. Think about keeping that long posture from your head, shoulder, hips, heels are in one straight line. 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Woo. All right. Next one, we have some planks, or we're going to work our way up to a push-up to plank. So first option, we can go forearm plank here. So elbows are right underneath the shoulders. Okay, option 1, we can start on our knees. So I just literally lifted my belly off the floor to hold that weight. This is our option 1. Option 2, we can come up on the hands here. Okay, then option 3 is a full plank. All right. For those of you who want to take this all the way up today, you're going to do a full push-up to a plank. So you can start on your hands. We're going to lower ourselves down, elbow, forearm, push back up to that plank position. All right, let's give it a go for 20 or 30 seconds. I'll let you know when you hit your 20-second mark. You can decide if you want to do an extra 10. All right, let's go in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. You choose that starting position. You can plank it up and down into that push-up. If you're choosing to do those, make sure you switch arms so you're not pushing up with the right every single time. We're at the 20-second mark. If you want those extra 10, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees down. Whew. Shake out those arms. I know that was a tough one. All right, let's go back to our side plank. You all are doing awesome. You're still here. We're still going. Keep those hips stacked. You choose knees bent or legs extended. You'll see me mix it up throughout just to remind you. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, hips up. Let's go. Nice long posture. Let's think about where our head is right now. If you're kind of looking down, tucking that chin, I want you to lift your head, ears facing the floor, other ears facing that ceiling, and we're looking ahead. Looking ahead to what's to come in your future. Stronger body, right? Good. 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Flip it around. Okay, we'll get set in 5, 4, 3, 2. Drive it up. Big hold here. Let's go. Big breath. Strong posture here. This is a power pose. Few more seconds. You can do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Woo. All right, back into that plank. Forearms, straight arm, knees or toes. All right. You can even try that push up to plank from your knees if you like, if you want to try that extra push. 20 to 30 seconds. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Strong arms, strong core. Keep that belly button drawn in. You're at your 20-second mark. Keep going if you want 30. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, sit it back. Nice work, everyone. Yeah, stretch out those arms. If you need that extra stretch, you can take this into a little child's pose for a moment. I know those arms are feeling it, those triceps, right? Go ahead and grab a sip of water. We're going to move on to our next round, round number 3, coming your way. Shake it out, shake it out. Doing awesome. Again, feel free to ask questions in the chat if you have questions. You can hop off mute if you like, okay? This class is for you, so let me know what you need. Next 2 exercises, we have some glute bridges, and we're gonna add a little stretch in there as well. So when you're ready, come meet me down on the mat. We're gonna lay it back. Heels are down, toes are up, all right? So let me rewind a little bit. Option 1 is to keep those feet nice and flat on the floor. We're gonna drive the hips up, squeeze the glutes, and then bring it back down. So that's our option 1. Next option, we're gonna turn it up a notch. You're gonna go up onto the heels, toes are up. We drive up the heels once again, big squeeze, and back down. Lifting those toes, we're just gonna bring those hamstrings into play a little bit more. Okay, and then lastly, if you want a little more oomph, we're gonna lift one leg off the ground, and we're gonna do a single leg hip bridge, up and down. Okay, the key thing here is to make sure we're lifting through the hips, working those glutes into those hamstrings. If we lift so high, we start to arch through that lower back, then we're losing that alignment and we're hyperextending. You want to stay away from that. So only lifting up, feel those glutes activate, bring it right back down. I see some of us have started, so let's keep going here. I'm going to give us about 20 more seconds to rep these out. Up and down. Strong legs. Those quads take over quite a bit when we're running, right? That's probably where we have a lot of tightness and soreness. And so it's really important that we're strengthening those hamstrings. Hamstrings are a common area for injury. If you've ever watched sports, played sports, you probably know that pretty well. So it's key that we don't forget about them. Good, let's go 3 more for everyone. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Go ahead and relax those hips down. Rolling onto your side. This next one is a great inner thigh stretch. It might be one of your new favorites. I know it's definitely one of my favorites. So I'm going to be in a kneeling position. I'm going to extend one leg out to the side. My toes are pointing forward, okay? I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to lower them down in front of me. And then all I'm going to do from here is sit back, just like we were doing a moment ago when we were doing that child's pose. And what you're going to feel is some awesome things happening in that inner thigh, all right? So you decide how far you need to sit back into the stretch. It's going to be different for all of us based on how tight you might be, how loose you might be. You can choose to hold it, or if you like to rep these out, you can shift your weight back onto your hands, and then we can take it back again slowly. And you just rub it back and forth. So I'll give you about 15 more seconds on this side, either holding it in place or rocking back and forth. Good. Again, the whole body is connected, so we can't just isolate one set of muscles and call it good and think that we're going to be stronger runners. We got to put all the pieces together. Last big stretch here. Good. Back to the center. Go ahead and bring that leg back in, back to our kneeling position. Take the opposite leg out. Again, toes are pointing forward. Then we go ahead and bring those hands down to the floor and we sit it back. Whew. Notice too if there's a difference for you on each side, or are you feeling pretty balanced? The tension's pretty much the same on both. Good. Breathing in and out. We'll go about 10 more seconds on this side. Nice work, everyone. Get that last stretch in there. Back to the center. Go ahead and bring those knees in. And we're flipping back over onto our backs, going to that glute bridge. Okay? And I'd like to challenge everyone. If you tried feet flat, maybe try 1 or 2 reps with toes up. And then if you tried maybe toes up, maybe try a single leg. You can keep that leg close to the floor to start. And then when you're ready, you can elevate that leg higher. Just a little challenge, just a little self-check. See where we're at, all right? Here we go, repping these out again, up and down. We'll go about 20, 30 seconds here. Slow and controlled. Driving through the hips. Nice work, way to challenge yourself. Three more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring it down, roll it to the side. We're going back into that adductor stretch. Good. Start in the kneeling position. Extend one leg out, hands come down, and we sit it back. Good. Either holding the stretch or we can rock this back and forth. Enjoy these 2 exercises right here. I got a fun one coming up for you next, all right? So you'll appreciate this little breather in between. Good, let's go 1 more here. Nice, go ahead and switch sides. And let's sit it back. Breathe through it. And also notice, the goal here is to try to open those hips up, lengthen out those inner thigh muscles. So test yourself. Are you able to get back a little bit further each time we go through this? Just goes to show that a little bit of movement and stretching goes a very long way. 1 more here. Beautiful. Bring it in. We have those glute bridges 1 more time. We're just going to roll right through them. You choose what your starting position is. Time is starting now. We're going to go 30 more seconds. Let's go. Keep going. Five more from everyone. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower it back down, rolling over. Last time for that adductor stretch. Let's see how far we can go on this last one. Sit it back. Absolutely. Can you just make sure you leave your email address for me? Just to make sure I have it. I don't want to miss out sending that directly to you. Thank you. Good. Go ahead and bring those legs back together. We're switching to the other side. Good, just a few more here, and we're gonna get into those next 2 exercises. We just have 2 more for today, and then we'll get into our stretches to wrap it up. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. I just got a direct message for those of you who are like, what is she talking about? Good, come back to the center, bring those legs together, walk yourself up. Awesome. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This one is a bear crawl. It is a challenging exercise, I will be honest with you, but I'm gonna help you get to where you wanna be with this one, all right? So first option here, we're gonna be on hands and knees. We're all gonna start on hands and knees, technically, okay? So it's really important that we have a proper starting position. So my knees are right underneath my hips. Like I said before, weight is over those wrists, and we want a long spine here. We don't want to start arching through the back or have this funky posture. Think nice long spine, think like an ironing board here from your head to your hips. All right, first option is to practice balancing one leg up, or you can choose to extend that opposite arm up as well. It's a great building foundation for this move. Okay, so that's one. Okay, next option, for those of you who want to take it up a little bit, we're going to tuck the toes, and then we're going to lift those knees slightly off the floor. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but I do have a little space underneath here, and I hold. And you're going to hold it for as long as you can. If you need to drop down, reset, and while the time is still going, when you're ready, try to lift those knees off the floor once again. All right, so let's all try just the holding or the bird dog for this first set, and then I'm going to show you the moving part on the second set. All right, so you just get a feel for it, and then you can decide how you want to go from there. So when you're ready, get into position. We're going to go 20 seconds. All right, let's go in 3, 2, and 1. Good. So we're either holding those knees off the floor, or you're choosing to hold one arm, one leg. Good. 5 more seconds here. It's tough, I know. 3, 2, 1. Rest it down. Good. For those of you who are doing single arm, single leg, don't worry. We're going to come back and do the other side in just a second. While you're resting, let me show you the moving portion. So this is a lateral bear crawl. So we're here, I'm tucking my toes, and I'm going to step, 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 step. Okay, you don't have to go too far. You could take 1 step or 2, depending on what your space allows. Okay. Whew, that is tough. The key thing is to keep that spine steady all the way through. So I know bears are big, their butt sticks up in the air, right? But our goal is to try to keep everything low to the ground. So as I step, there's not a lot of shift in my posture. That's what we want to get to, all right? So going back through that again, option 1, go ahead and go to the other side if you were holding here. Option 2, you can still practice just that isometric hold. Those of you who want to add on and try that movement, let's go for it. Okay, 20 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Five seconds. And rest. Woo, shake that out. Tough, right? Okay, don't worry. I got a nice stretch for you to balance that one out. So we're gonna go back onto hands and knees. We're gonna take just one hand, fingertips behind our head. You're gonna go ahead and drop that elbow towards the forearm, and then we twist back up, small twist through that torso, bring it back down. Twist and open, bring it back down. Okay, let's just go for about 4 or 5 of those on each side. Take your time. This is your stretch, your little breather between that bear crawl. Again, think about keeping that long spine. This one is helping to open up your thoracic spine. So that's that mid-back set of vertebrae, right? Usually our posture shifts throughout the day. That's your thoracic spine. And sometimes it can become very tight because our posture shifts. We get out of alignment. And so this is helping to open us up so we can have that better alignment, better posture, stronger spine for your running. Okay. When you're ready, go ahead and give me 4 or 5 more on the other side. Nice. And when you finish, let's take this opportunity to grab a sip of water, and we're gonna go back into those bear crawls once again. Thank you. Some people are taking off a little bit early because I have to head out. So thank you so much. I'll see you next time. All right, everyone, when you're ready, let's get back into that bear crawl position. Okay, once again, you can choose. We're holding one heel, stretching it back, one arm out, either knees up, or you're adding some movement. Again, we're just going for 20 seconds here. In 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Good. We're breathing through this. Think about keeping those ears or those shoulders away from the ears. One thing we don't want to do is shrug in like a turtle. We're trying to train the body properly. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest it down. Woo. Shake out those arms. We're going to go back into that thoracic spine stretch once again. Tapping the elbow towards the arm, and then we twist and open. And again, really be mindful of what's happening through the body. We're not trying to just lift that elbow as high as we can. Notice, what's your range of motion as you twist? Where does your body say, that's as far as I can go today? Okay, we don't want to push past that point. We're trying to slowly massage it back open. Good. Thank you so much. See you next time. Good. Once you finish the other side, we're going to switch to the opposite one. Good. Sorry, guys, you're hearing me outburst a little bit. Some people have to take off a little bit early, and that's totally fine. But I just want to acknowledge them leaving. Okay, thank you. All right, let's try that bear crawl one more time. Yeah, final push before we get into our stretches. So again, you choose how you're going to end today. What do you want to try? Do you want to try that bear hold? Kind of see where you're at in this moment. Do you want to stick with the bird dog? 20 seconds. We'll go in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. You're almost there. Keep going. Don't quit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Rest it down. If you were doing bird dog, let's go ahead and have me do that one more time on the other side for me. I'll start the time right now for you and let you know when those 20 seconds are up. Everyone else, go ahead and grab a sip of water. Like I mentioned at the beginning, if you need a towel, for this last stretch, it's going to be nice on your knees, or if you have a mat, go ahead and roll up that mat a little bit more so you have some extra cushion, okay? And that's time for those of you who are finishing that other side. You don't need a ball. This is just going to be a lot easier to demonstrate for me for this next one. So we're getting into our recovery. You've made it through the workout. Woo! Okay, so now we're just going to wrap up with some stretches here. So I have my towel here to protect my knee. I'm going to lift up this back foot. So if this, let's say this was my wall, it's a flat wall. I want to try to get as close to it as possible, and then I can pull this towel wherever I need it to be. So we're going to get this big stretch through this hip. I'm going to swing my opposite leg forward, and we're here with it. Okay, that's if you want a really big, deep stretch. Okay, so again, listen to your body. If you're like, whoa, I'm not going to get into that position today, I'm not there yet, that's okay. Don't go towards the wall. We're going to go here instead. We're going to keep it on the floor. That back foot is down. Okay, so that's another option. So whichever you choose, let's go for it. We're going to hold for a few seconds here. And breathe. We use this muscle a lot, right? Those hip flexors when we're running. So we want to show a lot of love here. Help them to recover. Breathing, inhale and exhale. We'd like to work up to holding our stretches for about 20 to 30 seconds. I know this one can be very intense initially, so feel free to come out of it when you need to. And just, again, we have a lot of time to progress and get better. So little by little, we'll hold this a little bit longer, okay? When you're ready, you can relax it down. Go ahead and try that on the other side. Again, we can choose to stay on the floor, just like this, just shifting our weight forward to get into that hip. Wrong side. There we go. Good. Sitting up. If you're using the wall, or if you're using like a table end or something by your bed, we're sitting up nice and tall. If your foot's still on the floor, we're going to shift forward. Just a slight difference because we're playing with angles here. Good. Go ahead and take a couple more deep breaths. And we relax it down. Nice work. All right. Let's get a couple more stretches for you all before we wrap up today. I'm going to give you two options. First option is a child's pose. Okay, so we start in that all fours position and then we sit it back. You want another stretch for your spine and feel comfortable getting into a downward dog. We're going to tuck our toes here and we're going to start to drive the hips up. Bring that chest and belly towards the thighs. Now we're getting a big stretch through that back side of the body. Okay? No wrong or right. You just choose. You're welcome to do both if you'd like. We're holding. If you're in this downward dog, you can pedal out your heels as well. Stretch out the calves. Nice. When you're ready, if you're in downward dog, go ahead and gently bring those knees down. Last but not least, we're going to stretch out our lats a little bit more. So we actually go into our child's pose position. I'm going to take my right arm, I'm going to thread it underneath the left. And it's like I'm taking a note, I'm going to pass the note through my arm towards the wall. Okay, so I'm reaching. You're going to start to feel that stretch in your mid-back. Hold it here and just breathe. Okay, don't worry about trying to sit your hips back super far. Listen to your body. If you have that mobility, that flexibility to sit back far, go for it. If your body says this is as far as we go, that's as far as you go. All right. Take one more big breath here. Nice. Bring that arm back out and we take the left through the right this time. This is our last stretch for the day. Excellent, excellent work. Way to push yourself through the class. Way to challenge yourself. That is the way we get better and we make progress. Take two more breaths here. Good. When you're ready, bring that arm back out, walk your hands back up, and take your time coming to a standing position. You all are awesome. I really appreciate you joining me today. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to email me if you need anything.